Father Daniel McKenna had been the spiritual shepherd of St. Jude's Parish in Johnston County for nearly a decade. Revered by the congregation, he was known for his impassioned homilies, charity drives, and tireless visits to nursing homes. To most, he was the embodiment of piety. But behind the collar, Father McKenna was quietly unraveling. On the night of July 11, 2025, an anonymous tipster called the Johnston County Sheriff's Department. The caller claimed to have witnessed a man in priest robes speaking to a known sex worker in the dimly lit parking lot behind St. Jude's Church. The car, a black Honda Accord registered to the diocese, was described in detail. Patrol units were dispatched. When deputies arrived at the scene, the woman, a local named Crystal May Donnelly, was already walking away briskly. They found Father McKenna sitting alone in the vehicle. He claimed she had simply approached him for help and he had offered to pray for her. But Crystal told a different story. Crystal Donnelly, who had a history of petty arrests but no recent charges, reluctantly agreed to give a statement. She alleged that Father McKenna had offered her $100 in exchange for oral sex, money he claimed was from the poor box at the church. He allegedly told her to meet him after midnight, knowing the parish grounds would be deserted. Investigators found text messages on Crystal's phone from a prepaid number arranging the meeting. When subpoenaed, the burner phone was linked to a convenience store in Selma, just 2 miles from the rectory. Surveillance footage showed a man matching Father McKenna's appearance purchasing the phone weeks prior. The Diocese of Raleigh issued a brief statement. "We are cooperating with local authorities and conducting our own internal review." Behind the scenes, they pressured the Sheriff's Department for discretion, citing potential damage to the community's faith. Father McKenna denied the allegations vehemently. His lawyer framed the situation as a targeted setup by a woman looking for a payout and attention. But the evidence was stacking up. The church was divided. Some parishioners stood by him claiming spiritual warfare. Others left the pews permanently. Amid public pressure, the district attorney charged Father McKenna with misdemeanor solicitation and misuse of charitable funds, though the latter was dropped due to lack of conclusive financial tracing. In a twist, internal church emails, leaked by an anonymous source, suggested the diocese had been aware of inappropriate behavior as far back as 2022 but opted for internal discipline instead of notifying authorities. By the end of the year, Father McKenna accepted a plea deal: no jail time, but mandatory counseling, community service, and removal from public ministry. The church quietly reassigned him to a monastic facility out of state. Crystal Donnelly disappeared from Johnston County shortly after the trial. Rumors said the diocese paid her to stay quiet. Others claimed she left for rehab. The parking lot at St. Jude's was repaved that winter, but beneath the fresh asphalt lingered whispers of what had happened there. A holy man, a desperate woman, and a truth buried under layers of silence and shame.